The stars glimmered silently across the vast emptiness of Luxera Prime's orbit. The planet below was a swirl of green forests and silver cities, glowing faintly under the light of its twin suns. From space it looked calm, almost peaceful, but the truth was far from that. Deep within the heart of the planet's capital, a sense of dread had begun to ripple through the city, unsettling its citizens. The alien empire that had long stood proud was now under threat, a shadow moving. Faster than anyone could see, in the throne room of Luxera Prime, Queen Alira stood tall. Her elegant armor gleamed under the soft lights of the hall, a mix of technology and craftsmanship that only her people could produce. The throne itself was carved from a rare crystal that pulsed gently, echoing the queen's heartbeat, a subtle reminder that her people's strength flowed from her leadership. Her large, multifaceted eyes scanned the communications screen in front of her, frowning as a message blinked urgently. "Your Majesty." Her chief advisor's voice was calm, but strained. "The Vorax fleet has entered Luxera's orbit. They are massive in number and heavily armed. Our defenses will not hold for long." The Queen's heart sank. The Vorax were notorious across many galaxies. Their ships were ancient but highly efficient, and their soldiers had a reputation for being ruthless. Entire civilizations had fallen. Before them, Lyra had always hoped her empire would never face them. But now, the threat was real. She clenched her fists, the crystal of her throne responding with a brighter pulse. "We must protect our people," she said firmly. "Prepare the planetary shields and evacuate civilians to the lower orbit stations." Her voice carried authority, but behind it there was an unmistakable edge of worry. Even the strongest leaders could feel fear when facing the unknown. Her advisors quickly obeyed, issuing orders to every corner of the planet. The city's defense systems activated, satellites pivoted, and energy shields shimmered across the atmosphere. But it was clear these measures would only delay the inevitable. The Vorax were too many, and their technology could easily bypass planetary defenses. In the throne room, Alira turned to her private unit. She had one last option, one she had never hoped to use. The humans were distant, strange, and unpredictable. Earth had always been a small, distant planet in the eyes of the Luxeran Empire. They had limited technology compared to the galaxy's larger powers. But there were reports that humans were resourceful, courageous, and clever in ways that could surprise even the most advanced races. Alira had never reached out to them before. It had always been safer to rely on her own people. But now, there was no other choice. She activated a deep space transmission, encoding it in a format that could cross galaxies, piercing the void to reach Earth. The message was simple, but urgent. Alien Queen in peril. Immediate help required. Vorax attacking Luxera Prime. All capable forces requested. As the signal traveled across light years of darkness, the Vorax fleet drew closer. On the massive motherships, enormous in size and bristling with weapons, Vorax commanders watched screens that displayed Luxera Prime's defenses. Their communications were harsh and mechanical. "Planetary shields are activating," one growled. "They cannot stop us for long." "Prepare the boarding units," another commanded. "We take the Queen. The Empire falls with her." Fleet shifted into attack formation, engines glowing like molten stars. Below, the people of Luxera panicked as alarms rang through the cities. Citizens hurried to evacuation pods. Families held hands as ships lifted them into orbit. Soldiers readied their weapons, hoping to hold the line, though deep down they knew the odds were against them. Across the galaxy, on a small blue planet called Earth, the humans noticed something unusual. In a high-tech operations room under the Earth Space Defense Command monitor suddenly blinked with an unknown signal. The team of scientists and military officers stared at it in confusion. The signal was not from their own satellites or any known human spacecraft. It carried an unmistakable pattern of intelligence, a warning embedded deep in the transmission. Captain Myra Khan, the leader of Earth's top space response unit, leaned forward. Her dark hair was tied back, and her sharp eyes scanned the data. "This is not human," she said quietly, almost to herself. "But it's a call for help." The team worked quickly to decode the message. Within minutes it became clear. A distant civilization, far beyond their known star systems, was under attack. The message repeated itself, urgent and desperate. Queen Alira's plea for help was unmistakable. "We have to respond," said Lieutenant Jack Rivers, a seasoned fighter pilot who had flown in multiple training missions but had never faced real combat beyond Earth. His tone was confident, but there was a hint of doubt in his voice. "This could be a trap." "Every distress call could be a trap," Captain Khan replied. "But if it's real, lives are at stake, and we can't ignore it. Humanity has the skills to make a difference." The room buzzed with activity. Scientists pulled up star maps. Generals consulted with strategists, and engineers prepared the advanced ships. Earth's top pilots were called from every corner of the planet, each chosen for their skills and bravery. Among them were specialists, dogfighters who could outmaneuver almost any craft, engineers who could repair ships under fire, hackers who could breach enemy systems, and survival experts who could navigate dangerous alien terrain. As preparations began, the selected pilots arrived one by one. There was Jox Harper, a hot-headed pilot known for taking extreme risks. Alina Rossi, a tactical genius with unmatched instincts. Dr. Theo Lin, a young tech prodigy capable of manipulating alien systems. And Commander Riya Patel, a seasoned veteran whose calm presence kept the team grounded. None of them had met before. But now they would have to work together to save a civilization they had never seen. On the deck of the SS Vanguard, Earth's most advanced warship, the team gathered for the first time. The ship itself was a marvel, sleek, armored, and capable of speeds that could rival light travel. It was armed with experimental weapons designed for deep space combat, including plasma cannons, energy shields, and stealth technology. Captain Khan addressed the team. "You are humanity's best. The lives of millions depend on your skills. Luxera Prime is in danger, and the Vorax are relentless. You will face threats you have never imagined. Trust your instincts, trust each other, and trust that humanity's courage can make a difference." The pilots nodded, a mix of determination and apprehension in their eyes. They knew this mission would test them in ways no simulation could. The SS Vanguard prepared for hyperspace jump, engines glowing, as it accelerated toward the distant star system that housed Luxera Prime. Meanwhile, back in the throne room, Queen Alira watched the approaching Vorax fleet. Her mind raced with worry for her people, but a spark of hope flickered when she sensed the distant human response. The signal indicated that reinforcements were coming, beings unknown to her, but willing to answer her call. As Luxera Prime's skies filled with Vorax warships, energy beams streaking across the atmosphere, Alira tightened her grip on the throne. "If Earth's champions truly come, perhaps all is not lost," she whispered in space. The SS Vanguard emerged from hyperspace near the outer edges of Luxera Prime's system. The team stared out at the planet, glowing faintly in the distance, its surface scarred with the beginnings of battle. They could see explosions on the city's defensive shields flickering, Vorax ships swarming above. Jox Harper cracked a grin, adrenaline surging through him. "Well, that's one way to make a first impression on aliens." Alina Rossi rolled her eyes, checking tactical displays. "Focus, Jox. We have a mission. Civilians and the Queen are counting on us." Dr. Theo Lin tapped rapidly on his console, analyzing the Vorax formations. "Their shields are strong, but they move predictably. If we coordinate our attack, we can create an opening to reach the Queen's location." Commander Riya Patel stood tall, looking at the planet below. "We have one chance to do this right. Stick to the plan, watch each other's backs, and remember we fight as one." The SS Vanguard accelerated toward Luxera Prime, slicing through space at incredible speed. The human pilots, hearts pounding, prepared to face the unknown. Every second brought them closer to a planet under siege, civilization on the brink of collapse, and a queen whose life depended on their courage. As the first shots of energy beams lit the skies above Luxera Prime, Captain Khan gave the order, "Engage. Humanity is here." Far below, Queen Alira felt a surge of hope, a belief that perhaps, even in the darkest hour, courage and ingenuity from a distant world could tip the balance. Across the void of space, humans were arriving. And the battle for Luxura Prime had truly begun. The stars watched silently as the first chapter of this epic rescue unfolded. And for the first time, two very different worlds prepared to fight together against a common enemy. The SS Vanguard moved through the star system with quiet precision, its hull gleaming under the distant light of Luxura Prime's twin suns. Inside the ship, the hum of machinery mixed with the occasional beep of alert consoles. The elite human team prepared themselves for what lay ahead. They knew they were entering a battle unlike anything they had faced before. The Voraks were no ordinary enemy, and Luxura Prime's survival depended on their courage and skill. Captain Mira Khan moved through the command center, her boots clicking softly against the metal floor. She paused at the holographic table, projecting a three-dimensional image of the planet and its orbiting Voraks fleet. "We need a plan," she said firmly. "The Voraks are powerful, but predictable in their patterns. We can use that against them." Alina Rossi leaned over the display, her fingers tracing the paths of the enemy ships. "If we divide their fleet, we can create a corridor directly to the asteroid station where the Queen is held. It won't be easy. They have heavy shields and constant patrols, but it's our best shot." Jox Harper smirked, adjusting the straps of his flight suit. "I like it. Fast, risky, and exciting. Just the way I work best." Dr. Theolin's eyes stayed glued to his console, analyzing Vorak's communication signals and weapon patterns. "I can hack into their systems partially," he said. "It won't stop them completely, but it will slow their targeting arrays and give us a window. Timing will be critical." Commander Rhea Patel, the most experienced of the team, crossed her arms. "We also need to consider ground infiltration. Getting to the Queen isn't just about space combat. We have to plan for boarding the asteroid station, neutralizing defenses, and avoiding traps. There's no margin for error." The team nodded, understanding the stakes. Each member had trained for high-risk missions, but nothing compared to the magnitude of this operation. Civilians were dying, the Queen's life hung in the balance, and the fate of Luxura Prime rested in human hands. As the Vanguard approached the outer edge of the Voraks fleet, alarms suddenly blared. Red lights flashed across the control panels. Sensors detected multiple enemy fighters approaching at high speed. "They've spotted us," Jox Harper said, gripping the controls of his fighter pod. "Let's make this fun." The human pilots jumped into their individual fighters, small but highly maneuverable ships designed for agility and speed. With a roar of engines, they shot forward, weaving through the first wave of Vorak ships. Laser beams streaked across the void, hitting shields and exploding in bursts of energy. Despite being outnumbered, the human pilots relied on their instinct, skill, and teamwork. Alina Rossi's fighter danced between two massive Voraks cruisers. She fired precise energy blasts at weak points in their hulls. "We need to draw them away from the Queen station," she said, overcomes. "Keep them distracted, Jox." Jox's fighter looped around a Voraks destroyer, dodging incoming fire. "Distraction is my middle name." He fired a series of rapid shots, causing the Voraks to change formation and open a path for the Vanguard to approach. Inside the SS Vanguard, Dr. Theolin monitored the enemy communications. "I've breached a small part of their targeting system," he reported. "Their accuracy will drop by 40% for the next 30 seconds. Use it now." The team executed a perfectly coordinated maneuver. The Vorak ships, confused and partially disabled, could not respond in time. The Vanguard slipped past their outer defenses and entered the asteroid belt where the Queen was being held. The asteroid station loomed ahead, dark and foreboding, surrounded by Vorak's patrols. It was a fortress in space, designed to resist even the strongest attacks. The human team slowed their approach, scanning for entry points. Commander Rhea Patel spoke calmly, her voice cutting through the tension. "We need a stealth approach. Avoid direct confrontation until we reach the Queen. Use the smaller docking ports on the station's shadowed side. Keep communication lines open, but move quickly." The fighters split into groups. Jox Harper and Alina Rossi took the lead. scouting the area and providing cover fire if necessary. Dr. Theo Lin and Commander Patel prepared for boarding and infiltration. Every movement was calculated, precise, and deliberate. The stakes were higher than anything they had ever faced. As they neared the station, the team detected automated defense systems, laser turrets, energy barriers, and motion sensors designed to stop any intruder. The human pilots had to think fast, using the information Theo provided. They found weak points in the security grid and guided their ships through narrow gaps. "Adjust course 3 degrees to the left," Alina said. "There's a blind spot." In their turret coverage, Jox followed her lead, flying through the narrow passage and narrowly avoiding a burst of energy fire. "This is tighter than any canyon I've ever flown through," he said, his voice a mix of thrill and focus inside the asteroid station. Queen Alira watched from a reinforced observation chamber. She had seen humans on screens before, but never in action. Their bravery, coordination, and determination impressed her. She realized that these beings, though small and inexperienced compared to other galactic powers, had a courage that could turn the tide. "They are unlike anything I have imagined," Alira whispered. "Perhaps hope is not lost." The human team finally reached a docking port on the station's shadowed side. Magnetic clamps attached their fighters to the surface as they prepared to board. Commander Patel led the team inside. Her movements precise and silent. The corridors of the station were dark, lit only by dim emergency lights. Every shadow could hide an enemy. Every corner could conceal a trap. The team moved carefully. Jox Harper's sharp eyes scanned for Vorax patrols. Alina Rossi hacked into the station's internal systems, disabling cameras and opening doors as they advanced. Dr. Theo Lin manipulated the alien security network, creating false signals to mislead any remaining Vork. Despite their caution, the team encountered resistance. A squad of Vork soldiers appeared, their weapons glowing with lethal energy. The humans reacted immediately, using a combination of martial skill and technology to subdue the attackers. Their teamwork was flawless. One distracted the enemy, another disabled their weapons, while the rest neutralized the threat. Queen Alira, watching remotely, felt a surge of hope. The humans were unlike any allies she had ever known. They were small, fragile, and inexperienced, yet they faced danger with fearlessness and intelligence. Her trust in them began to grow. As the team advanced deeper into the station, they discovered a control room filled with alien consoles. Dr. Theo Lin quickly interfaced with the systems, searching for the Queen's exact location. "I found her," he said. "She's being held in the central chamber, heavily guarded, but I can create a temporary diversion to help us get close." Commander Patel nodded. "Do it. You move on my signal." The team coordinated their actions. Theo manipulated security doors, locking certain corridors and opening others. Lena created false alerts, drawing Vorax soldiers away from the Queen's chamber. Jox and his fighter skills translated into fast, precise movements as they provided cover in the corridors. They reached the chamber where Queen Alira was held. The doors were massive, reinforced with alien alloys, but Theo found a way to override the locking mechanism. With a hiss, the doors slid open. Inside, the Queen sat, calmly on a chair, her hands folded. She looked at the humans, her expression unreadable at first, then softening into relief. "You have come," she said, her voice echoing slightly. "I did not know if anyone would answer the call." Commander Patel stepped forward, bowing. "Slightly. We are here to bring you home, Your Majesty. Stay close and follow our lead." As they prepared to leave, alarms suddenly blared. The Vorax had detected the diversion and were moving toward the chamber. "We need to move fast," Jox said, drawing his energy weapon. No time for style points. The team fought their way through the corridors, Vorax soldiers attacking in waves. Each human used their skills to the fullest. Alina disabling security traps, Theo hacking doors, Rhea leading the group strategically, and Jox providing agile combat support. Despite the chaos, their coordination allowed them to push forward, keeping the Queen safe. Finally, they reached the docking bay, where the Vanguard waited. The Queen was escorted aboard, her presence commanding even in the chaos. As the docking clamps released, the human team fired upon the pursuing Vorax forces, holding them back long enough for the Vanguard to lift off. Once in space, the team exhaled, catching their breath. Queen Alira stood in the center of the command deck, observing the human pilots with keen interest. "You have saved my life today," she said. "I owe you more than words can express. Perhaps the galaxy is not as dark as I feared." Captain Khan approached the Queen. "The fight is not over," she said. "Luxara Prime still faces the Vorax, but together we can plan a way to stop them. You are safe for now, and that is the first victory." Lyra nodded, a rare smile appearing on her face. "Then let us prepare. Together, we will show the Vorax that courage, intelligence, and unity are stronger than fear." The SS Vanguard turned toward the planet, ready to strike again. The human team, though tired and battered from their first encounter, felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were far from home, fighting for a civilization they barely knew. But their courage and ingenuity had already made a difference. Above them, stars sparkled, silent witnesses to the alliance between two very different war. The stars stretched endlessly around the SS Vanguard as it moved closer to Luxara Prime, the planet below scarred by the first wave of Vorax attacks. From orbit, the devastation was visible even through the ship's high-resolution windows. Cities glowed faintly, many structures reduced to rubble, while defensive shields flickered against the relentless assault of Vorax energy blasts. The Queen had been rescued, but the battle was far from over. The human team had only just begun to understand the scale of the threat they were facing. Captain Mirakon stood in the command center, her eyes scanning the tactical display. The Vorax fleet had not yet retreated completely. They lingered in orbit, probing defenses and planning the next strike. "They are reorganizing," she said quietly. "We need a plan to prevent them from returning stronger." Alina Rossi leaned over the holographic table, tracing enemy ship formations with her finger. "If we can identify their command ship, we can create chaos in their ranks. Without coordination, the rest of the fleet will struggle to maintain pressure." Jox Harper, leaning against a console, grinned. "So we hit the big guy first. I like it. Fast and exciting. Just the way I work best." Commander Rhea Patel gave him a sharp look. "This isn't a game, Jox. Precision and planning matter more than bravado. One mistake could cost lives, including the Queen's." Dr. Theo Lin adjusted his glasses, analyzing the Vorax signals. "Their communication network is complex, but not perfect. If we can disrupt it, even partially, it will give us an advantage. I can work on creating a temporary blind spot for their command ship." The team agreed on a plan.
How they would divide.
Into two groups. One, to engage and distract the Vorax fleet, drawing attention away from Luxara Prime's surface and the asteroid station where more civilians were still trapped. And the other to locate and disable the Vorax command ship. The operation required precision, courage, and timing that could only be achieved through trust and teamwork as they prepared their fighters. The atmosphere aboard the Vanguard was tense. Each pilot checked weapons, recalibrated shields, and ran simulations in their heads. They knew that one wrong move could mean the end, not just for themselves, but for the Queen and the people of Luxara Prime. The SS Vanguard launched first, cutting through the void with impressive speed. Behind it, the smaller fighters streaked into the battlefield, leaving trails of light in the darkness of space. Jox Harper led the charge, weaving through Vorax fire with daring skill, his heart pounding with adrenaline. "Alina, cover me," he shouted over COMMs. Alina Rossi's fighter moved in perfect sync, firing precision blasts to disable enemy shields. The Vorax ships reacted quickly, but humans were unpredictable. The pilots used erratic maneuvers, feints, and sudden dives that their enemy could not anticipate. Every moment was a test of skill and courage. Meanwhile, Dr. Theo Lin had begun his work on the Vorax communication network. His fingers flew across the console, sending precise codes to infiltrate the alien system. Slowly, the network began to glitch, signals dropping and misaligning. The Vorok's command ship became momentarily blind, unable to coordinate its fleet effectively. Commander Rhea Patel guided the second group of fighters toward the command ship, her objective clear: destroy its control systems and disrupt the Voraks. Leadership, stay sharp, she said. We only have one shot at this. Psst. Precision is key. As they neared the Voraks command ship, the humans encountered a wall of automated defenses, energy turrets, missile launchers, and invisible shields designed to repel intruders. The fighters dodged and weaved, targeting weak points identified by Theo. Each strike was calculated, each maneuver critical. Jax Harper's fighter spun around a massive turret, firing a rapid sequence of energy blasts. The turret flared and went offline. Alina followed, disabling another defensive system with pinpoint accuracy. Commander Patel led her team through the gaps, moving like shadows against the enemy. Inside the command ship, Voraks officers were shouting orders, but confusion reigned. Their systems were failing, their fleet's coordination faltering. For the first time, the humans had the upper hand. The battle was fierce. The Voraks, despite their reputation, were not invincible. They had underestimated humans, assuming that their small size and limited technology would make them easy targets. They were wrong. The humans fought with ingenuity, speed, and fearlessness. Every move was strategic, every attack designed to exploit weaknesses. Meanwhile, the Queen watched from her secure chamber aboard the Vanguard. She observed the humans in action, her eyes wide with a mixture of awe and hope. They are unlike any allies I have known, she whispered to her advisors. Clever, courageous, and unpredictable. Perhaps humanity is stronger than the galaxy believes, as the battle continued. Civilians still trapped in Luxera Prime's orbit were carefully evacuated by automated pods and loyal Luxeran forces. The humans coordinated these efforts from their fighters in the Vanguard, ensuring that lives were protected even amid chaos. Dr. Theo Lin sent the final commands to the Voraks command ship systems. The surge of energy, critical controls, failed, sending shockwaves through the fleet. Ships collided, shields dropped. The once coordinated Voraks forces fell into disarray. Alina Rossi's fighter swooped through the chaos, taking out remaining turrets and targeting weak points in the command ship. Jax Harper followed, providing cover and eliminating any remaining threats with daring precision. Commander Patel coordinated the assault, ensuring that every move supported the larger strategy. Finally, command ship was disabled, its leadership incapacitated. The Voraks fleet, now leaderless and disorganized, began to retreat. Luxara Prime's skies cleared slightly, giving the planet a brief reprieve. The human team had achieved a significant victory, but they knew the fight was far from over. On the Vanguard, Captain Mira Khan allowed herself a moment to breathe. We've done well, but this is just the beginning, she said. The Voraks will regroup, and they will come back stronger. We must prepare for what's next. Queen Alira approached the human team, her presence commanding yet graceful. You have done the impossible, she said, her voice steady.
Yes.
You've saved lives and proved that courage and intelligence can overcome even the greatest threats. For that, I am grateful. The humans exchanged looks, a mixture of pride and exhaustion. They had faced the unknown, fought an enemy far more advanced than themselves, and emerged victorious for now. Jax Harper smirked, leaning against his fighter console. Not bad for a bunch of humans, huh? Lena Rossi rolled her eyes, but smiled slightly. We're just getting started. This was the warm-up. Dr. Theo Lin adjusted his glasses, still focused on monitoring the Voraks fleet. We've bought time, but the Voraks will return. We need to find their home base and neutralize the threat completely. Commander Rhea Patel nodded, agreed. The Queen is safe for now, but the galaxy is still in danger. We must be ready for anything. As the SS Vanguard regrouped in orbit, the human team prepared for the next stage of their mission. They had proven their skill, courage, and teamwork, but the challenges ahead would test them in ways they could not yet imagine. The Queen watched the humans with newfound respect. She realized that Earth's champions were not just warriors, they were thinkers, strategists, and survivors. In their hands lay the hope of her people and the future of Luxara Prime. The stars stretched endlessly around them, silent witnesses to the alliance between humans and Luxara. In the darkness of space, courage burned brighter than any weapon, and hope became a force more powerful than fear. The battle for Luxara Prime was far from over. But for the first time, the Queen felt a glimmer of hope. With humanity by her side, perhaps victory was possible. The SS Vanguard and its elite team of humans now faced a galaxy filled with dangers. But they had learned a vital truth: courage, ingenuity, and unity could turn the tide, even against the most formidable foes. As they prepared for the next challenge, they knew that together they could achieve the impossible. The SS Vanguard hovered above Luxara Prime, its engines emitting a quiet hum that contrasted sharply with the chaos unfolding below. The Vorac's fleet had been temporarily pushed back, but the humans knew this victory was only the beginning. Queen was safe, but her people were still in danger, and the Vorac's would return stronger than before. The tension aboard the ship was thick, but the team of humans worked with focus and determination. Captain Mira Khan stood at the command center, studying the tactical displays. "We've slowed the Vorac's, but we need more than speed and firepower. To end this," she said, "we need intelligence knowledge about their plans, technology, and weaknesses. That is the only way we can secure Luxara Prime for good." Queen Alira approached the table, her presence commanding but calm. "You have done well, humans," she said. "But there are things you do not understand about the Vorac's. They are not merely warriors. They are a species guided by a strict hierarchy and ancient traditions. Their strategy is built on centuries of conquest. To defeat them, we must know them as I know them." Alina Rossi leaned forward, curiosity gleaming in her eyes. "Tell us, Your Majesty. We need every detail." "If we are going to plan a proper counterattack," Alira nodded. "The Vorac's are from a hidden system far beyond the outer reaches. They have conquered planets using a combination of brute force and psychological dominance. They value strength above all else, and they do not understand mercy. When they take a world, they leave no survivors who might challenge them. Their technology is old but incredibly efficient. Each ship, weapon, and soldier is a product of generations of refinement. But even they have weaknesses, and I will help you find them." Dr. Theo Lin's eyes lit up. "If we can map their weaknesses, even partially, we could design strategies to exploit them. Their communication networks, energy sources, or command hierarchy, anything, could give us an advantage." Queen Alira led the humans to a secure chamber aboard the Vanguard. The walls shimmered with alien crystal, displaying holographic images of Vorak ships, weapons, and planets. "This is what I have observed," she said. "Their ships are strong, but their engines rely on predictable energy flows. Their weapons are powerful, but their targeting systems can be disrupted by rapid, unpredictable movement. And their leadership, if their commanders are removed or incapacitated, they are prone to confusion. That is where your skill can make the difference." Commander Ria Patel nodded thoughtfully. "We can combine our tactics with your knowledge of their behavior. Use deception, diversion, and precision strikes to undermine them before they can react." Jox Harper's grin widened. "So basically we hit them where it hurts while making them chase shadows? I like that." Alina Rossi studied the displays carefully. "We also need to think about civilians. Many are still trapped on Luxara Prime, and the Vorac's could return at any moment. Can't just focus on attack. We need rescue plans and evacuation. Strategies." Alira's eyes softened. "I have loyal forces remaining on the planet. They can assist in evacuation, but we must coordinate carefully. Your arrival has already given hope to many who feared the end. The humans have shown courage and ingenuity that even my most trusted generals admire. Together, we can do more than just defend. We can turn the tide." Captain Khan's mind raced with possibilities. The team had proven themselves capable in battle, but now the task required intelligence, strategy, and foresight. We need a plan that uses both your knowledge and our skills, she said. We'll divide into teams, one to support planetary defense and evacuations, one to infiltrate Vorax positions and gather intelligence, and one to prepare for a decisive strike against their main fleet. Timing and coordination will be critical. The humans and the Queen worked late into the Luxoran night. Holographic maps displayed Vorax patrol routes, energy sources, and supply lines. The team brainstormed strategies, debated tactics, and ran simulations. Jox Harper's enthusiasm for daring maneuvers was tempered by Commander Patel's calm insistence on precision. Elena Rosie's analytical mind balanced the team's impulsiveness, and Dr. Theo Lin's technical expertise bridged the gap between human and alien technology. As the night wore on, the Queen shared more secrets about her world and the Vorax. Their home system is heavily defended, hidden behind energy fields that are difficult to detect, she explained. They do not expect interference from outsiders, especially not from a species as small and underestimated as humans. That is why your presence is so valuable. You are unpredictable. They cannot calculate your actions as easily as they can with their own kind. The humans listened intently. It was a piece of a larger puzzle. They began to see the Vorax not as invincible monsters, but as a force that could be challenged with intelligence, courage, and unity. Jax leaned back, rubbing his hands together. So, they're big and scary, but predictable if we know their habits. I can work with that. Alina raised an eyebrow. It's big and scary? That's a bit simplistic, don't you think? We've wiped out entire civilizations. We need to be precise, not just bold. Jax grinned. Bold and precise. That's the best combination? You know it. The Queen allowed herself a small smile. Humans are indeed bold. Perhaps too bold at times, but that is a quality I have learned to respect. It may serve you well against the Vorax. The next day, the humans divided into their teams. One team remained aboard the Vanguard to support planetary defense and coordinate evacuations. Another prepared to infiltrate Vorax positions on nearby asteroids and outposts to gather intelligence. The third team focused on preparing for a decisive strike against the main Vorax fleet. Jax Harper and Elena Rossi led the infiltration team, piloting small, stealth-capable ships. Their mission was dangerous, but necessary. The humans moved with calculated precision, avoiding detection as they navigated through asteroid fields and Vorax patrols. Inside the asteroid outposts, the infiltration team observed Vorax operations. They took note of weapon emplacements, supply lines, and patrol patterns. Dr. Theo Lin monitored communications remotely, feeding the team vital information and identifying weak points that could be exploited. Commander Ria Patel coordinated. With planetary forces, evacuation pods moved civilians to safe zones, while remaining Luxoran soldiers fortified key positions. The humans used their speed and agility to outmaneuver Vorax patrols. Guiding allies and civilians through dangerous areas, Queen Alira watched the unfolding operations with growing admiration. Humans are capable of things I never imagined, she said to her advisors. They adapt, improvise, and act with courage that surpasses even the best of my warriors. Perhaps this alliance will not only save my people, but change the galaxy's perception of humanity. As the infiltration progressed, the humans discovered valuable intelligence. The Vorax had hidden energy storage units that powered their fleet's weapons. Disabling these units could reduce their combat effectiveness significantly. The team quickly relayed the information to Captain Khan, who began planning a coordinated strike. Meanwhile, the team supporting planetary defense faced constant challenges. Vorax patrols attempted to break through, but the humans and Luxoran forces worked seamlessly together. The humans' ingenuity became evident as they created improvised barriers, redirected energy flows, and coordinated rapid evacuations. Civilians, who had once feared the Vorax, began to see hope in the presence of these brave outsiders in the command center of the Vanguard. Captain Khan and the Queen devised the next phase of their plan. The humans would use the intelligence gathered from infiltrations to launch targeted strikes on Vorax supply lines and command positions. By weakening the enemy before the main confrontation, they could increase the chances of a decisive victory, Jocks. Harper leaned back in his seat, a satisfied grin on his face. So, we sneak in, hit them where it hurts, save some civilians, and then hit the big bad fleet. Sounds like a perfect plan. Lena Rossi shook her head, smiling despite the tension. It's more than a plan, it's a complex operation that requires every bit of skill, timing, and courage we have. One misstep, and it could all fall apart. Dr. Theolin adjusted his console, analyzing the Vorax systems. We have the advantage of unpredictability. They won't expect coordinated strikes from humans in tandem with Luxoran forces. If we act quickly, we can create confusion and gain the upper hand. Commander Riya Patel's voice was calm but firm. Remember, this is not just about offense. Protect the Queen, protect civilians, and maintain unity. Our strength lies in coordination and adaptability. The Queen observed the humans closely, noting their determination, intelligence, and courage. She realized that the success of her empire now rested not only on her loyal forces, but on these remarkable beings from a distant planet. Their presence had already shifted the balance, and with careful planning, it could achieve what many had thought impossible. As the teams prepared for action, the Vorax fleet remained in orbit, unaware of the full extent of the threat approaching them. Their confidence in their technology and tactics blinded them to the humans' ingenuity and determination. The stage was set for the next phase of the conflictive phase that would test every skill, every strategy, and every ounce of courage. The human team possessed in the quiet moments before the operation, Captain Khan addressed her team. We are not invaders. We are allies. Our mission is to protect. The SS Vanguard and its fleet of human fighters orbited above Luxara Prime, engines humming with silent intensity. Below, the planet's cities glimmered faintly under protective shields, while distant explosions marked the sporadic return of Vorax skirmishes. The humans had prepared carefully, using intelligence gathered from infiltrations and Queen Alira's insights. The time for decisive action had arrived. Captain Mira Khan stood at the command center, eyes scanning the tactical hologram of the Vorax fleet. All teams report in, she said, her voice steady. Commander Riya Patel's voice came through. The CUM's planetary defense units are in position. Evacuations are nearly complete. Civilians are safe for now. Lena Rossi checked her fighter systems. Infiltration teams report ready. We have data on Vorax weak points and energy nodes. Strike plans are set. Jox Harper's tone crackled with excitement. All systems go. Let's go make some trouble for our friends, the Vorax. Dr. Theolin analyzed Vorax signals one last time. I've identified 3 critical energy nodes on their main fleet. Disabling them will disrupt weapon systems and shields temporarily. Timing is essential. We strike simultaneously. Queen Alira stood beside Captain Khan, her expression both calm and commanding. The Vorax will not expect this. They believe their fleet is invincible. They underestimate humans. That is our advantage. Captain Khan nodded. Then we use that advantage. Everyone knows their role. Precision, timing, and coordination are key. Let's end this. The human fighters launched in formation, their sleek ships weaving through the stars with calculated agility. The SS Vanguard followed, a massive presence that offered both firepower and coordination. The Vorax fleet, still disorganized from previous skirmishes, reacted slowly. Jax Harper's fighter darted forward, executing the outer Vorax ships with daring speed. He twisted and rolled, dodging energy blasts while returning fire with precision. Come on, big guys. Let's see what you've got. Alina Rossi's fighter moved in tandem, targeting key weak points Theo had identified. Focus on shields and energy nodes. Disable them. Don't destroy them. We need their fleet confused, not annihilated. Commander Patel coordinated from the Vanguard, issuing orders to both fighter teams and planetary defenses. Keep civilians clear of conflict zones. Strike the nodes at the same time. Watch for Vorax reinforcements. Timing is everything. Dr. Theolin manipulated Vorax communications remotely, sending false signals and creating temporary blind spots in their targeting arrays. Their accuracy is reduced, We have a window of 30 seconds to strike simultaneously. The battle erupted with blinding energy. Fighters zipped past Vorax cruisers, weaving through enemy fire. The humans moved with coordination that even the Vorax could not anticipate. Laser blasts hit shields, missiles were deflected, and energy nodes began to fail one by one. The Vorax fleet, caught off guard, struggled to regain formation. Queen Alira watched the unfolding battle, her eyes sharp and observant. They are executing the plan perfectly. Humans are unpredictable, yet precise. Their courage and ingenuity surpassed expectations. Perhaps my people will survive because of them. Inside the Vanguard, Captain Khan monitored the battlefield closely. Alina Jox, target node 2, Rhea, coordinate planetary defense, fire on Vorax reinforcements. Theo, maintain communications disruption. We need total coordination. Jox executed a daring maneuver, slipping between two massive Vorax cruisers and firing a concentrated beam at the second energy node. The explosion rocked the enemy ship, sending debris into nearby space. Node 2 down. They didn't see that coming. He shouted. Alina followed quickly, disabling another node with precision energy blasts. The Vorax fleet's shields flickered and collapsed in parts, leaving cruisers vulnerable. Commander Patel guided fighter units to exploit the openings, taking out key Vorax ships and protecting civilian evacuation pods. The Vorax attempted to counterattack, sending reinforcements from their outer flanks. The humans coordinated. Strike, combined with the Queen's tactical knowledge, kept them on the defensive. Every move was anticipated, every maneuver calculated. The Vorax had underestimated human adaptability. Dr. Theo Lin monitored energy flows, identifying the final critical node. Node 3 is vulnerable. If we hit it, their fleet's weapons and shields will collapse temporarily. Strike now. Captain Khan gave the order. All units, target Node 3. This is our chance to cripple the fleet and secure Luxara Prime. The human fighters surged forward with precision. Jox Harper executed a complex series of loops, dodging incoming fire and hitting the node with pinpoint accuracy. Alina Rossi fired simultaneously, energy beams striking the node from another angle. The explosion reverberated through the Vorax command ship, and a ripple of chaos spread across the fleet. Vorax cruisers faltered, shields failing, and weapon systems disrupted. The humans pressed their advantage, targeting isolated ships and keeping reinforcements at bay. Their coordination and unpredictability made them nearly impossible to counter. On the planet's surface, Luxaran defense forces moved in response to the disruption in the Vorax fleet. Soldiers, guided by the humans from orbit, attacked weakened enemy positions, rescuing trapped civilians and securing key installations. The combined forces of humans and Luxarans turned the tide decisively. Queen Alira observed the scene, her voice calm but firm. This is what courage and intelligence can achieve. Humans are not merely allies. They are a force that can shape the fate of worlds. Today they have proven their worth beyond question. As the Vorax fleet began to retreat, the humans pursued only briefly, cautious of potential traps. Their focus remained on securing Luxara Prime and ensuring the Queen's safety. The combined efforts of the humans and Luxarans had disrupted the enemy's plans. It's inflicted significant damage and saved countless lives. Inside the Vanguard, Captain Khan allowed herself a brief moment of relief. We've done it for now. The Vorax have retreated, and the planet is secure, but we cannot assume they will not return. We must remain vigilant and prepare for any future threats. Jox Harper exhaled, leaning back in his seat.
That was
insane. But we did it. Humans never back down. Alina Rossi smiled, exhaustion evident in her features. We did more than survive. We made a difference. The Queen's people are alive because of us. Dr. Theolin nodded, still focused on analyzing Vorax communications. We've disrupted their fleet and exposed weaknesses. This gives us leverage for future encounters. But we must learn quickly they will adapt. Commander Rhea Patel addressed the team, her tone calm but commanding. This victory is significant, but it is only the beginning. The Voraks are resourceful and relentless. Today, we have shown what humans can achieve, but tomorrow may bring new challenges. We must be ready. Queen Alira approached the team, her regal presence filling the command center. I have watched your courage, strategy, and ingenuity. You have done what many believed impossible. Luxara Prime owes its survival to you, humans. You are not merely allies, you are heroes. Galaxy may yet learn of your deeds, and perhaps the Voraks will reconsider the strength of the species they have underestimated. Captain Khan bowed slightly. We are honored to fight alongside you, Your Majesty. Humanity will stand wherever justice and courage are needed. The Queen's eyes softened with gratitude. Then let us prepare for the future together, today. The Voraks have been defeated, but their threat is far from over. With humans at my side, I believe we can defend not only Luxara Prime, but the galaxy itself from tyranny. As the stars shone silently around the SS Vanguard, the humans and Luxarans prepared to rebuild, secure, and fortify. Civilians were safe, the Voraks fleet had retreated, and the Queen's leadership remained intact. But the humans knew this was only the beginning of a larger war, a war that would test their courage, skill, and unity against enemies who underestimated them at every turn. Jox Harper grinned at his teammates. So, same time tomorrow? More chaos? More firepower? Elena Rossi shook her head, laughing softly despite exhaustion. Tomorrow, we recover and plan. Chaos will come soon enough. Dr. Theo Lin focused on gathering intelligence, preparing for the next phase of their mission. We've learned much from this battle. We can anticipate Voraks' movements and plan more effective strikes in the future. Knowledge will be our greatest weapon. Commander Rhea Patel looked out at Luxara Prime, her expression calm and determined. We've proven that humans can change the course of a battle, even against a superior force. That knowledge will guide our actions as we prepare for the challenges ahead. Queen Alira watched the team with renewed hope. She realized that humanity's courage, intelligence, and adaptability could be the key to the survival of her empire. For the first time since the Voraks had attacked, she felt confident that victory was possible, and so, as the SS Vanguard and its team of elite human fighters orbited above Luxara Prime, the stars bore witness to a new alliance, one forged through courage, ingenuity, and unwavering determination. The battle for Luxara Prime had been won, but the war against the Voraks and any who would threaten peace was only beginning. Humanity had proven its strength, and the galaxy would soon learn that when humans stood together, no enemy, no matter how powerful, could take them lightly.